3 years ago, 19-year-old Sarah Goodner and her sister, 16-year-old Rebecca, were on their way from St. Angelo, Texas to Dallas, driving in Sarah's Hyundai Tucson. It was a long, ill-fated drive, as her parents painfully recall.
Rebecca had work that day. My daughters thought that they were doing the safe thing. They were taking turns driving.
So while Rebecca took the first shift of the 4.5-hour drive, Sarah reclined her seat to get some rest.
Somewhere along the way, Rebecca was driving and Sarah was sleeping. And somewhere along the way, Rebecca fell asleep at the wheel. Sarah woke her up and she overcorrected. She was 16 at the time, and she overcorrected and the car rolled over 3 times.
Both girls were wearing their seatbelts. Rebecca's held her in, but Sarah, who was reclined, slid out.
Rebecca actually called me after the accident occurred, and she said, "Mom, I can't find her, I can't find her." And I said, "You can't find who?" She said, "I can't find Sarah."
Sarah had been thrown out of the back window and pronounced dead upon arrival to the hospital. Ironically, it had been the Tucson's 5-star crash test rating that sold Sarah's parents on the vehicle.
We thought we did the right things in purchasing a good car and a safe car and teaching our children, seat belts and all.
So after this accident, Sarah's parents wanted answers.
Why was both girls in the exact same wreck? They both had their seat belts on, and one walks away with a stiff neck and the other one doesn't walk away at all.
2 weeks ago, a federal court in St. Angelo, Texas, ruled Sarah's death was Hyundai's fault. The problem was not that the seatbelt malfunctioned. It actually worked exactly as it was designed, which was the problem. The jury ruled that it was the design that was defective.
People get inside their vehicles, and the first thing they do is they recline that seat beyond 45 degrees, and they have no idea that they have just destroyed the effectiveness of their seatbelt.
The public may have no idea, but it appears the government does. On May 10, 1988, the chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board recommended to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration that they limit the angle of inclination allowable in reclining seats in passenger vehicles. In the same document, he also says if car manufacturers had limited the angle to which seats could be safely reclined, the death of a 7-year-old boy could have been prevented. 20 years later, nothing has changed, and the Goodners have lost their daughter. Still, Hyundai denies responsibility. In an email, Hyundai tells Fox 21 they believe the jury's verdict is wrong and will be set aside by the trial judge or reversed on appeal. They also state the jury's verdict essentially amounts to a finding that nearly every car on the road today is defective and unreasonably dangerous for allowing front passengers to recline their seat. Hyundai argues it's common sense that riding in a reclined position is dangerous, yet in one of their own commercials they feature reclining seats as a luxury comfort while the car's in motion. In the owner's manual, the Goodner's attorney says the safety risks of a reclined seat are minimal.
You've got 3 warnings that's in a 281-page long document. There were 131 warnings inside that owner's manual, and the specific warnings that dealt with seat recline didn't tell the user, oh, by the way, if you have your seat reclined and you roll over, you can be ejected because your seatbelt system can't do its job.
The Goodners were awarded $1.8 million in their trial and say they'd give it back if Hyundai fixes the problem.
We would like to call out the car industry. Do the right thing. You know that this problem exists. You know that it's a fatal problem. You know that some of your consumers that bought your car thinking that it was a safe car could be in danger because they're using it just as it was designed.